I get asked often is how to resize my cells, so that is where we are going to start. As you can see, these ones here on the vertical line, these are numbered and these are your rows. The horizontal ones here are with letters, A through Z, and then continues on and on. So let's say you just want to resize column A, you can just drag right here, you click and drag, and it shows you in terms of pixels right there in that little width box that comes up above. You can do the exact same thing with your rows. You can increase the height. Let's say you want to resize columns A through G. You hold down your shift button and you click on G, and then you resize it, and at first it looks like it's just doing one, but don't worry, they all resize. Then you can do the same thing with your rows. Let's say you want to do 1 through 10. You do the same thing, you click, hold, and resize. Now let's say what you wanted to do instead was you wanted to do B and E. You press B and then Control, and then you click on E, and then it selects all of this right here, and then you can resize just column B and column E. You can do the same thing with your rows. Here I have just a little small example table to show you a few more things. Right here we have some names and this phone number. This is a fake phone number, but I want to copy this phone number to look like all these names have a phone number. So what I can do is I can click on this cell right here until this little green box appears. I hover over and these little crosshairs come up. So I'm just going to grab that and I'm going to drag it here. And what that does is that copies that phone number through all of this. Now we can see that this phone number, it crosses out of this column F right here. So what we want to do is make this column a little bigger. So I'm going to click right here on F, and I'm going to click Format, and I'm going to do Auto Fit Column Width. So what that does is that auto fits the column so that it is exactly the width right here. You can resize this manually, but sometimes it's a little better just to click the auto width. Then you can do that with these two. Now, I want to make this look a little nicer, a little less plain, and so what I want to do is I want to format this, give it some different look. So I'm going to come up here, and first I want to change my font for my header here, so I'm going to look through these. I think this is a nice font. Then maybe you can increase it over here in your font group. You can change the colors, pick a different color. Then you can also shade your cell right here. You can pick a nice color to do this nice blue-gray here. But what happens when you shade a cell is the border goes away, and personally I'm not a fan of that when I like to keep my information all inside the borders. So what you can do is you can come down to more borders, and you can pick a very simple border, or you can pick a one that's a little fancier. You can change the color of your border, and then you can click where you want it. Maybe you just want the sides, or maybe you just want the top and the bottom, but I want all of it to be bordered up in this nice border. So I'm going to click all around this box, and then I am going to come over here and I will click OK. Now if you click out, you can see that this now has a really nice border. Now let's say I wanted to do this one. I want the font to be a dark blue, and I want it to be shaded blue. Now, I want the same formatting to go to these other names here. So what I can do is I can click Format Painter. If you click it just once, you can just format once. But let's say I wanted to do all of this right here. You double click Format Painter, and you can hold and go like this and there. Then you unclick it, and now all of this is formatted the right way. Alright, as you can see, we have the same table right here, but I changed the formatting up a little bit, and that's because I wanted to show you guys something else you can do to change the look of your workbook in Excel. What you can do is you can come up here to your ribbon, and you can click Page Layout. Then you can click on Themes, and it'll give you several different themes that you can pick from. And as you can see right here, it shows a little bit. You can pick one of these, and it automatically changes the font. Where you still have your original selected font, it'll change the font and the color scheme. So where before we had a blue, now we can change it and it can be this yellow right here or this green. So I'm just going to pick this one. It's a slightly different blue and the font is different, and this just makes it that there is consistent formatting throughout your whole workbook.